Opinion class 1, okay? And today I'm going to talk about opinion, okay? Let's commence our discussion regarding the two significant books, my published works, both of my literary creations that delve into the intricate subject of opinion. Shall we embark on this conversation? Let's share our perspectives and insights, and I am eager to contribute my own thoughts. I'm going to show what the books really talk about, okay? They are two books about opinion. Why? Because opinion is more exciting for me, right? So let's go. What the book shows us. In book 1, you'll see the structure of the opinion essay. You'll see the academic styles, the organization, obviously, because I can't forget to mention the TOEFL and essential vocabulary. Then we'll have vocabulary about crime, vocabulary, everything that appears on the IELTS, we'll have that vocabulary there. And in book 2, we will have grammar, we will have agreement, articles, and plurals, all very important topics. Delving into the diverse varieties, understanding how we are going to utilize cohesive linking devices, and ultimately how to become truly persuasive. To argue examination is completely and entirely argumentative in nature. That's precisely why it's commonly referred to as the agree-disagree essay. And we will also discuss all the common and frequent mistakes that we should absolutely avoid making in this particular essay. So here I'm going to show you, because today I'm still going to talk about the structure of the essay and what to do, how we're going to work with the opinion. And here we are. 1. So it comprehensively comes with a detailed summary, and then it proceeds to talk a little bit more about the overall structure of the book. And here is something very important that I'm going to talk about. With you, we will explore why the opinion essay is truly important and what precisely makes it distinctly different from all the other types of essays. This is very important. It absolutely has to be extremely argumentative, presenting a very strong and compelling case. And then with that established, we keep going, we continue to move forward. And here it clearly says, and this book is really cool because it's just like how I teach. So it addresses the student's needs step by step. Why do you need to defend your opinion? What is a thesis? I explain all of this. Here we have the parts of speech, which is very important. Knowing what a verb is, again, adjectives, adverbs, nouns, and so on. The parts of speech are very important. And then we get into what is a thesis? Why is a thesis so important in the opinion essay? And that's what we're going to talk about. I'm just mentioning it here, just going over it really quickly, book 1. And then obviously we go step by step through book 1 and book 2. And here is tell. Once again, as I have already mentioned previously, back in the earlier discussion, in lesson 2, if I'm not mistaken, we already start talking about tell, which is very important. Let me just make this particular visual element a little bit bigger now so that you can clearly and easily see it. And then we keep going. Crime and justice in our opinions. Okay? So the vocabulary of crime, the vocabulary of crime, all that kind of thing we need to know because crime comes up a lot in the opinion essay. So here we have all the crime vocabulary. And then it already starts with a very important part, the most academic expressions within the, say, opinion section. So I completely agree. How are you going to argue? It's important, right? I completely agree with this point of view. I totally disagree with this idea. I agree to some extent. Saying, I agree to some extent, I don't really like it because it can get lost. So either you agree or you disagree. I'll get into that in the next video. We'll cover that point then. Right now, I'm just showing book 1, book 2. I will show the remaining content at a later point. Otherwise, it will get excessively lengthy. This first book in the series has, I think, approximately 60 pages or even more than that. So here. What's really cool about the book are the collocations related to crime. So a verb and the word crime, commit crime, fight crime, really cool to use. And more collocations like cut the level of crime, live a life of crime, prevent crime, solve crime. And then there's minor offenses, reduce crime, level of crime. It's really cool and explains everything. All of this crime vocabulary, what a trial is, what everything is explained because we are required to know it. Here it starts talking about why is word count important. So it goes step by step. And there's, well, in task 1, we use 150 words, and in task 2, 250 words. Obviously, we have to write this number of words within a certain time. And that specific time is 40 minutes for task 2 and 30 minutes for, sorry, you have only 20 minutes allocated for task 1. Therefore, effective time management is extremely important to ensure successful completion. Here's an ICI model, which is very important. And here's one of the things I'll be giving that class to. I'm just going through it really quickly. Generalization. But what would that be? To avoid generalization? To avoid vague, unclear, ambiguous, and imprecise sentences. Sentences that practically, in essence, explain almost absolutely nothing. And at the very same time, to avoid making statements, all kinds of definitive statements. And let's keep going a bit further. Look how much there is. Here, generally speaking, the majority of cases, all of these are avoid generalization techniques. And here there's an exercise to talk about avoiding generalization. Here I'll also explain everything will be in sequence. Make, let, allow, how important they are. Let, we won't use it much, but they are causative verbs. How are we going to use them in the passive voice? It takes to, it takes the infinitive. All of this is important to know for your writing. And if you don't know it, it won't help. And there are exercises here. And here you have smoking, alcohol, driving, topics that come up. In the opinion essay, and here's something really cool about city and countryside, right? So there are collocations that are often used. There are collocations about this. Very interesting. There's all the vocabulary, right? And there's a model for you to use using all the links. It's going to be like this, word, right? And there's much more. And then here and now, it's very important. Supporting arguments. So the more we argue, the more consistent your essay becomes. So remember that it's totally, I'll show it in the next video. Now, how it's different from the advantage and disadvantage essay we've already covered. So here it really emphasizes the consistency of the argumentation. And here there's an exercise, more exercises about what was discussed. Very cool, okay? It's the introduction of an opinion, you know? So it's really cool. And here it says it's because we're going to paraphrase, not copy, okay? Write in your own words, okay? Highlight it. The brief background is to state your opinions. And when I say state your opinions, it's those that are your topics, your ideas, and outline. What's coming next? Then you can present yours and yours. And here it talks about a bad introduction. Yeah, can you see how big it is? I'm still on page 39. Paraphrasing, it teaches how to paraphrase. We're going to go through this whole story. We're going to learn how to compare one IOTC with the others. IOTC, I'll show you more or less here, but it's important. It's extremely important to make this comparison because it differs, and it differs a lot. Don't forget what an opinion is, and you have to argue your point. The more arguments you have, the more consistent it is. Again, I say this, and the more grammar you know to argue, the more academic sentences you can use to argue, the more points you'll earn. And here there are several types of arguments. And here talking about linking devices, transition words, whatever you want to call them, it's important to use them for your cohesion and coherence. And here, how to improve your writing with transitions. In what way? How are we going to move from one sentence to another? It's very important to use transition words. And here, everything is explained in the book step by step. It's very important to know this. And here are the ideas, sequences as well, which are very important. And here you have the answers at the end of the book for all the exercises that are there in sequence. So it's very important. Here it talks a little bit about me. And here, the book is wonderful. Book 2, I'm moving on to the second one, to day 7. Now I'm going to talk a little about book 2. Opinion 1, opinion 2. We have 2 opinions. Very important. All these wonderful and informative books are readily available right now on Hotmart for purchase and immediate download. And they're also conveniently accessible on Amazon, where you can find a wide selection of titles. On Hotmart, I'm going to be providing even more detailed information about each title, ensuring you have all the necessary details before making your selection. From time to time, I'll do giveaways. I'll give out some book coupons. And of course, the more people I have, the more I'll do. I'm going to start doing the giveaway starting next week. Okay? So everyone, please stay closely tuned, because we are definitely going to do the giveaways for this book throughout our course here. Obviously, the course is complete, very comprehensive, because in the middle of these courses, there are a lot of exercises, a lot of material, I'm going to put all of this on Hotmart. Some things are .com, but I want to tell you that this website right now, I don't know what happened. It stopped working, but the technicians are already on it, and it will be back up very soon. So that's it, okay? I'm going to the next video, video 2 from the 6th, okay? I'll see you in a bit over in the video 2 from the 6th. Here we are. I'll see you in a bit. Thank you for your attention. By the way, I'd like to thank everyone who is here. You're encouraging me. It's the first time in 40 years of teaching, and I teach everything. I'm specialized in IELTS, obviously, but I also teach general English, and I'm going to launch general English here as well. But what I really want to thank you for is that I'm getting 20 students, 20 subscribers a day. I'm so happy with you all. Every day that goes by, there are 20 more. And for me, that's a real reward. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.